you came to win. No sin. Alright. Sit back, relax. Peace. What's happening, good people? This gift here for Pay Us No Mind. And today we're talking about AI, man, and how it could possibly or likely kill off music producers and even recording artists. And I'll get into how that could come about and how artists could kind of future-proof their careers against it. Now, as always, y'all know how this go. I run my mouth for the first 15, 20 minutes. Then we're going to get into the live chat where everybody get to ask questions and share their comments and opinions and all of that good stuff. You know, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. If you have, thank you. You know, I would also appreciate it if you guys would join me on Substack, where we'll be diving deep into stuff and having exclusive content and videos and everything like that for y'all to consume. So right now you can find your way to it through a link that I got to a lead generation, kind of like a mini course or something like that in the description box. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna check the system, make sure we good to go. And while I do that, y'all could listen to a word from today's sponsor. All right, good people? All right. This video is sponsored by DPM Distribution. One low price, unlimited releases, unlimited stores, plus distribution to specialty stores, including Audio Mac and SoundCloud, YouTube and social media monetization, music video distribution, and publishing administration, all in one destination. Want to know more about DPM Distribution? Click the link in the description box. Yeah, so I came across a platform called Udio, which is not fun. Y'all probably heard other people talking about it and stuff like that, but I used it and I was like, yikes, like really yikes, you know? So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna let y'all see what I saw. Hold on, man. So this is it. And I came in here and I was like, I typed in a prompt. So my prompt with Udio was, I typed in Jay Dilla and another producer like in the vein of Jay Dilla called House Shoes, and soulful hip hop and things of that nature. And this is what it spit out, man. I met her, tried to get her. She was rocking the white cardigan sweater. Yo. Yo, it ain't bad, man. You know, and this was another one that I had checked it and had it like create. Let me see if I can find it. If this is yeah, and this one got like sounded like Bilal, like it's featuring Bilal or something. Now, check it, yo. Take this thing out my ear because it's falling out anyway. But yeah, man. So, hold on. Let me see something with y'all in here. Yeah, so my thing with it, and y'all let me know if y'all can hear me and y'all can hear me good, thumbs up. You know, I mean, I know I got my little AirPod. I can hear myself. Right? Yeah, man. But my thing with it was, when I checked it out, I was like, yo, man, not that AI could really replace actual humans and what humans do. Because what humans have over AI is like actual experiences. So we live life and we come up with things based on how we live life, our interactions with other humans, relationships, things of that nature, right? AI doesn't know what it feels like to lose a parent or to be an orphan or to grow up in a certain neighborhood with a certain dynamic. Like, it doesn't have these types of things, even like nuances with what happened to humanity when AI gets unleashed, with people like losing jobs and things of that nature. Like, that's not something that AI can deliver on. So when it comes to a creative standpoint, I don't think AI really could compare. But music doesn't just exist within a creative realm. There is a business aspect of music. There is commercial music, right? What we know to be commercial music, the commercialization of music, which is as music as a product, music as something that's sold to consumers. And when it comes to music from a commercial standpoint, it can be absolutely devastating and almost a wrap for people. Because it's like, when it comes to music production, when you think about it, the way that we, or people in my age group, used to do music, it was more community based. We went to open mics, we went to talent showcases, and we rapped over other people's beats, like industry beats, songs that you heard on the radio. You know, you went to parties and you got on the mic and spit at parties. You did ciphers in the street, and those were things that you utilized to kind of like showcase your talent. And due to people recognizing your talent, you had other people that was in those ciphers, in those showcases, in those open mics that would be like, yo, he nice. And they would want to work with you. And then those producers would invite you over, they play beats for you, and then you and that producer would put together a record or records. And then that you had your community of supporters, they had their community of supporters, then you all brought it together and y'all pushed whatever it is y'all collectively made and tried to make something of it. So you had that collective support system and that collaboration that took root. And AI, in the sense of that, it can't replace. But with the dynamic that we have with the internet now, it can. Where everybody's buying beats from like beat stars, these like leased beats and stuff like that, where they don't know the producer. The producer doesn't really have a name. They're just scanning through a database of beats, trying to find something that they like enough to rap over. And if they find something that they like enough to rap over or sing over or whatever have you, they pick it, they pay to lease it, and then they go record a song over it and put it up. And they're all on their own in regards of marketing and promoting and all of that stuff. So it's like the relationship with the producer, whoever made it, is somewhat irrelevant. Doesn't even matter. Because, hey, I heard it, I liked it, I bought it, I used it. The end. So when you think about AI, in a sense of being able to come to something like Udio and just type in a prompt and say, you know how you got all of these YouTube things that float around where people be like, type beat, Drake type beat, Kendrick Lamar type beat, all of that different type of stuff. Somebody could just go to an AI engine and say, hey, make me a beat that sounds like Drake, effectively Drake type beat. And then have the AI system generate thousands of beats that sound like something that Drake would rap over or that Kendrick Lamar would rap over. And then just which one will I choose? And select whichever one they want and rap over it and put it up. So it's like if all you want is an instrumental, AI is gonna win there, you know? And then you think about it with all of these other institutions that might need music, people that make films. Why go through the process of having to like pay big money for the rights to a master or the licensing rights to a master for sync or the publishing or something like that, when you could just go and say, write me a song about a girl in Indiana that's going through struggles with whateverness, and have it generate the perfect song for that and use it for your movie or your TV show or your video game or anything to that effect. So with the commercialization of it and people who need it for like business purposes, AI could become very problematic. And even in the sense of the way that we've allowed things to kind of play out with streaming, you know, like when you think about streaming, Spotify, Apple Music, things of that nature, they kind of revert the artist to the background. So it's like people aren't like falling in love with the personality of the artist. Like they say, video killed the radio star, because it's like you could see the artist and you could see like their fashion and their personality displayed visually, and that took music to another level in regards of how people felt about the artist that they were consuming. Madonna and these types of people who just really push the envelope with the visual representation of their music. Now, with Spotify and stuff, people don't see you like that. They just hear. So when it comes to something like these streaming platforms, you think about it from, hey, I just need a soundtrack to my morning drive. I need a soundtrack to my workout routine. I need a soundtrack to put me to sleep at night. I need a soundtrack for meditation. And who the artist is doesn't matter as much as whether the music works for whatever it is you're doing. So when it comes to that, Spotify, all of these different platforms, technically, if they could wrangle themselves free of the agreements that they have with record companies, they could produce their own music with AI and just say, okay, here are songs for you to work out to. Here are songs for you to study to. Here are songs for you to do this to. And people would kind of be all right with it. For the most part, it's like people have songs that they fell in love with and they want to hear those songs. But when it comes to new songs, that's where things become really interesting, man. You know? So it's like the way to overcome those things is that you have to build, you got to lean into the human aspect of your music and what it is you do. You know, so it's like I said again, AI can't replicate human activity or human experience. And still, yeah, there is the aspect of discovery, and AI can muck up discovery because, yeah, and it's the other end of it too, right? Like, if we're being honest, you have people in other walks of life that are jealous of artists. They're jealous because artists have a certain level of freedom that they don't have. So these people, they go to work and they make money. So a lot of artists are broke because it's like people don't want to support art until other people are supporting the art most times. You know, so your friends that got jobs and go to work every day, you know, might have more money than you have, who is trying to work some BS job so you could maintain your freedom, so you could run and go do whatever it is you got to do to support your career whenever you have to do it. But these guys got money and they envy the freedom that artists have. So a lot of times the people with money are always looking for things that they could do to free themselves up, an off-ramp. What can I invest my money in that can make me enough money where I could leave this job and not have to worry about wearing a suit that I don't want to wear, not have to worry about dealing with people that I don't want to engage with, listening to a boss I don't want to be bossed around by. What can I do? And a lot of them love music, they're fans of music, and this opens the door to those guys being able to come use Udio, because this thing doesn't just generate instrumentals, it generates whole songs, words, beats, the whole nine. So somebody could go and go to Udio, type in, give me a song about a club night where people are drinking and dancing or whatever have you, and have it generate a whole song, and take their money from their good ass job and invest it in marketing and promoting that song, and get it a whole bunch of streams where it triggers the algorithm and gets even more streams, and that buries all of the other artists that might be coming up with songs and don't have as much money to promote. So now anybody with a job, anybody with income can go and create music and just flood social media, streaming platforms with music, which makes it harder. So we can always say cream rise to the top, but when the cream is buried, yo, it's hard to rise, you know? And when the music isn't necessarily bad, people aren't gonna be like digging for it, like, oh my God, this is horrible, where can I find great music? When it's all generally okay, then there isn't like as much incentive, because people have lives and they're busy and they're not sitting around just like, oh, well, I have infinite time to be digging through crates and trying to find quality music. They'll take what they're given, you know? So whatever the algorithms serve up, whatever the platforms serve up, is pretty much whatever they'll accept. So from that standpoint, it's like, I feel like right now is kind of like where you make your career. Before all of that stuff pop off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to step up and start building a brand. You know, move away from what everybody's talking about, where everybody keeps pushing you towards streams, get more streams. Here's how you get more streams. Dude, this AI thing is going to kill streaming revenue. It's a wrap for that. It's over. Do not focus on getting streams. You need to focus on whether people recognize your name. If you are, whatever it is you're doing, be it Facebook advertising, be it Instagram stuff, be it TikTok stuff, if you want to search for your name on Twitter or search for your name on Facebook or any platform and you don't see nobody talking, you need to be doing something else. You need to find another way, right? Because that is where the value is going to lie. The value is going to lie in the fact that you have people that recognize and value your name. And when you have people that recognize and value your name, then it's about that value that you bring extending to other people. So it's like when somebody buys a beat from Pharrell or Dr. Dre, they're not just buying a beat from those guys. It's not just like, oh, this beat is amazing. They're buying the name. You know, they want to be able to go to a radio station and say, hey, I got a beat produced by Pharrell. And that would help the radio station, or that would lead to the radio station giving it more consideration than if it was produced by somebody they didn't recognize. You know, they want to be able to go to the magazines and say, hey, this is produced by Pharrell, and automatically they get press. They want to be able to float that on social media, and automatically people talk about it because they know, hey, this is Pharrell, and by talking about Pharrell, I can bring attention to myself. You know, so those names come with value just because of the names. You know, so it's not just using the beat and saying, hey, this is an amazing beat. It's about the name. And the same thing with collaborating with artists. People get a verse from Method Man, or a verse from Jay-Z, or a verse from Kendrick Lamar. Even if they're not thrilled about the verse, it's not about the verse. It's about being able to say, this track features Kendrick Lamar. This track features J. Cole. This track features whoever. And bring attention to your music and get it played on radio and get into the algorithms and things of that nature. So once you get to a point where you have a name like that, dude, that's where the value lies. Because then it's like, it ain't about somebody just being able to go to an AI system and generate something that sounds like you, because they wouldn't really get the value of leveraging your name, because they couldn't say, hey, I work with this guy and you need to give this a shot because this guy is associated with it. You know, they just got something that sounds like something you did. And it kind of goes back to, I'm not even going to say that. But yeah, it just sounds like something that this guy did. And it's the association isn't there. So the focus now needs to be on building up your brand name, building up, you know, that connection with audiences where they're like, yo, I'm looking for that new gift. I'm looking for that new long distance traveler. I want anything that those guys put their name on. You know, like that's like the value that Kanye West has. Where it's like if you hear a new song and somebody says it was produced by Kanye West, or Kanye West featured on it, or Kanye West consulted the artist, you know, any kind of involvement from him automatically will bring attention to the work. You know, even people talking about him can bring attention to themselves. So that becomes a big thing. Now, how do you do that? I mean, that in itself can be really challenging, especially the older you are as an artist, because as an older artist, you step out of community to a greater effect. That's what I'll say about being an older artist. The challenge is the fact that when we're younger, we have school, and then we make friends in school, we make friends on the block, and then those friends that we make from school and the block, and if you are somebody who went to basketball practice and all of these different things, you was on a basketball team, whatever sports, you made friends there, and outside of like school and practice, it was idle time. There was nothing to do. So you might play video games or something like that to fill the time, but there's free time. So if somebody is going to perform somewhere, you say, yo, man, I'm doing this, I'm throwing a party, and your friends come through. You know, if somebody wants to, like how we used to, in my hood, we just hung around, you know, we used to just be out. So it's like school's out, we come home, we just come outside and we just outside, you know, and then we meet up with other friends, and then we just walking around looking for girls. And as we're walking around looking for girls, you know, we might stop somewhere and then somebody might start rhyming, and then we end up in a cipher, and then other people walking by, somebody else rap, and they come join the cipher, and then you meet them and y'all become friends. And you know, that's kind of the way that it was, you know, and you had that energy and you had that stuff going on. But as an older artist, you don't have that no more. Your friends got lives, they got wives, they got kids, they got jobs, you know? So it's like people now don't have just time to float and just buzz around to do stuff. So now it becomes more deliberate. You need like a business plan and a strategy of how you're gonna market and promote yourself and get yourself out there. Even from the standpoint of how people receive your music. When you're young, it's about potential and what could be. When you are older and you haven't accomplished anything crazy with music, it's about what wasn't. People look and they say, well, he never managed to make anything of it. And you come out with music and people are like, yo, it's good, you still doing it. Wow, you still got it. But they don't support because they're like, I don't see where this is going, you know? So for them, when you get older, it's more important to have milestones, success, you know, to be like, yo, well, I got co-signed by so-and-so. I got played on this radio station. I got featured here. Because if you want the support of like your support system, your family, your friends, your network, or whatever have you, they need to see something that allows them to feel like, oh, okay, this guy's going somewhere. Whereas if you were young, it would just be about your talent. You could just spit and people were like, oh, he nice. What? Oh, if he sounds like this at 15, imagine what he'll sound like at 18, you know, and people can just fantasize about that, and they'll invest and try to promote and market and help somebody succeed. So the thing now is, like, if you don't want to just rely on luck, it kind of takes a strategy and a system and looking at it and being like, okay, not just looking at it from the standpoint of making stuff and trying to flood platforms with stuff and hope that, hey, this gets 10 streams, that gets 100 streams. But you got to look at it from the standpoint of what's impactful. You know, what do I play to people? And then they look up with their eyes wide and they like, yo, what's up with this? You know, if you're not getting that kind of reaction out of people, then, you know, you got to go back to the drawing board and keep making stuff until you make something that gets that reaction out of people. So the reality of the situation is things is becoming more difficult for artists. It was already challenging to break through. Likely it's going to become even more difficult to break through. But, yo, you need strategy. You need a system. You got people like myself. You got a ton of people on the internet giving advice. I'm pretty sure people will come up with ways and workarounds. But, you know, listen, man, this is kind of like I want to say a bed that we made for ourselves, man. But a lot of people, you know, contributed to making this bed because people focused on, you know, formulaic music, like not stuff that was pushing the envelope, not stuff that was like creatively moving in any kind of way, profound in any sense. It was just like, okay, this is working. This is what everybody's listening to. Mimic, copy that, put it out, hope that I get as lucky as that guy got. And you just have this same thing. And anything that is basically algorithmic is subject to being replicated by AI. So any kind of system can be duplicated and pushed out there. And that's where we are with things. So this Udio thing, now it's like, yeah, it's tempting. Because I could go there and just make 1,000 beats and put them up as instrumentals on Spotify and put together like a lo-fi chill playlist or something like that. And me with my marketing chops, I could advertise that. I could make a lot of money promoting that without having to deal with artists and the headache of, you know, what they want to do and how they want to promote and how much money they don't have and all of this. Like, I could just throw all of that to the side and just use something like that to make music and then take my marketing skills, take my revenue and turn it into more money utilizing something to that effect. So it's nuts, man. It's nuts. But another thing I wanted to chop it up with y'all about is just music as an asset class, because I've been trading music. I've been buying my way into catalogs, and I'm gonna show y'all something. Hold on, let me see. Let me pull it up. So there's one song that I came across, man. Like one song on this platform. Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, man. So y'all see this? Like, this is because this platform, Sonomo, is a digital distributor. But the thing about them is that they require, because it's an investment platform, but they require you to use their digital distribution system in order to have your music available for investments. And what's different about this from like other platforms is that the investment is tradable. So when I buy a share or 10 shares of this song, as more people buy shares of this song, the share price increases. And then I could sell it for the new price. So two things. One, I can hold on to it and I get a percentage of the royalties every month. So it's gonna pay me back what I pay for it eventually. But on top of that, if it increases in value, I can flip it for more than what I bought it for. So this particular song, because this platform primarily, when I got introduced to it by the guys Sonomo when they reached out for a review. It was pretty much just EDM and like classical music, instrumentals for the most part, with a few old tracks that they had in here. But now I see somebody put up like a real song. And this real song that has like singing and vocals on it, and it ain't bad. I'm not gonna play it because I don't want to do content ID and have, you know, that whole thing. But you look, this song came in priced at $2.68. That was the price per share. Now it's trading at $21.84. You know, so if you would have bought a share at $2, you would have been able to sell it at $21 now. So imagine if somebody bought like $100 worth of shares of this song or $1,000 worth of shares of this song, what they would be able to flip it for. So for me, this is kind of like the next wave, you know? So it's like, this is my portfolio on here. Cause I just been playing around with what they gave me, cause they put like $20 in here or something. So I've been playing around with the 20 bucks that they put in here. So it's like, you see, I bought this song today cause it was trading for a penny. And I was like, all right, let me buy that. It's cheap and it's new, because if you catch stuff new, it tends to go up. So that song is up 11%. You know, this song is down 24%. This song is up 1,275%. You know, I bought this song, another man in my life. This is like for those that's old enough to remember this record. You know, this is trading on here too. I bought one share of this. This is up 47%. You know, this song is up 209%. So it's like, this is interesting. The only thing I say about this platform is that the music isn't stuff that I recognize. So it's hard to like gauge how successful it might be, because it's like, I don't know these artists. I don't know this style of music, you know, so it's like a total gamble. I'm just like, all right, it's new, let me buy it. But if this develops and more artists that make different styles of music start putting up stuff to where you could be like, okay, hip hop, I know what works in hip hop, or R&B. I know what works in R&B, and you can start investing in those things. Yeah, this could be the future, because it's not just Sonomo, it's other platforms that are doing this too, but it's not tradable. So it's like you got, what's the name of the other platform that's doing this? I forget what they're called. BX or something like that. I forget the name of them. But they're another platform that's doing it. BeatBread has a partner platform that's doing it too, where you could buy royalties, but it's just the trade, but it's just to invest and collect a percentage of the royalty revenue, like the revenue that comes from the royalties. You can't trade your share of the royalties, which is what you can do in Sonomo. So with all these other things, they're saying, hey, this is something that we got on deck. It's coming. When it's coming, I don't know. But right now, I couldn't trade something on those other platforms. I can only invest, and investing, it'll pay you like 1%, you know, of whatever you invested per month or something like that. And trading is where the value is. But yeah, that's just a side note, man. That's just what I've been having fun messing around with, you know. But yeah, I'm going to shout folks out, man, and then I'm going to get up out of here. All right, good people. So we got Zope Belafonte, what up, my guy? We got Long Distance Traveler, what's good? Normalized Audio, what up? And Datus, I think your name is, what's good, man? Yeah, man, yeah. So let's see what y'all talking about, man. Whatever your thoughts, comments, opinions are with all of this stuff, speak now or forever hold your peace. Zope Belafonte says, I think AI still won't be able to get the real human chops of a real sample flip producer. I mean, it don't have to. The reality of the situation is you got to think in terms of what people need music for, not from the standpoint of who's looking for something to be like expertly done and mastered, right? Like, That's something that serves like fanatics that are like really into it and going over every like detail of the sample. Most people don't care. All they care about is, oh, this is nice. I could bob my head to this. I could study to this. You know, I could dance to this. I could work out to this. You know, yeah, this would work for my movie or whatever have you, my video game. They're not into the intricate details of it. They don't care about that, you know? And that's where the rubber meets the road with this AI stuff. Is that to people, it does not matter. It's kind of like, I remember a DJ show that I went to, like a DJ contest. And you had one DJ that was doing all of this like stuff that played to the crowd. Because the crowd don't know anything about what it means to be a DJ and what that equipment can do and things of that nature. So you got one guy, he's scratching with his elbow, taking his shoe off, scratching with his tongue, stuff like that. And I went with my man Shah, who's a DJ, and his man Raymond, who's a DJ as well. And they looking, and the guys that's doing technical stuff, they're like, yo, like, damn, that guy should win. But people don't even know what he's doing because it's some technical stuff that only DJs know. Only DJs know what he's doing and the difficulty of what he's doing. And to everybody else, it just is like, this is boring. You know, the guy scratching with his elbow and his tongue and all of that other stuff is the one that excites the crowd. And I look at that with AI in a similar fashion, where it's like, it doesn't matter whether something is like authentic or people don't care. They just like, oh, how does it sound? Does it sound good? Sounds good. All right. Normalized Audio said Japan already had the idols. Yeah, like an AI group. Yamaha had a virtual idol. He said Mina from YouTube is doing a cartoon person. Yeah, man, it's wild out here. Data says Skynet Music Inc. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I know my wife is wholeheartedly against AI. You know, as a creative, a photographer, I believe my daughter is too, man. As a illustrator and as a musician, you know, they're not too into it. Zope Belafonte, I wonder what type of copyright claim problems for similar sounding samples Udio would cause. I mean, they're already in hot water because people are saying that they trained the AI on copyrighted music. But I don't think the people who are making stuff are going to be in trouble. The platform is probably going to get in trouble for whatever source material it's using to create this new work from. But still, the laws around what they can use and how they can use it is murky because it's not a direct like abuse. It's not like I took your music and I'm publicly displaying it. It's like I listened to it and now I'm creating something inspired by it. So it's like, is it copyright infringement for somebody to make something inspired by another work of art, right? Like, this is where things get murky. Long Distance Traveler says, can the songwriter invest in their own songs? I believe the way that it works is when you put up a song on Sonomo and you do and they do the valuation for it and break it into shares, you can like sell whatever percentage of the song you want to sell and hold on to like however many shares you want to hold on to. And when the share price increases, you could release those shares and sell them to people and sell it for the new price, right? So that's the way that I believe it works, but I got to check to make sure. Data says, I wonder if Marvin Gaye's estate is lawyering up. I don't even know, man, because Yeah, these AI platforms have a lot of money, so there's money in suing them, but you got to be able to prove that they're doing something wrong. So it's like if what the AI is generating isn't utilizing a sample, then it's like, what are you suing them for? You're saying, hey, I know that this kind of sounds something like a Marvin Gaye song, which they might win on. They won the Robin Thicke thing where they say, hey, this is basically like this is in the spirit of that Marvin Gaye song. So it could be, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but this is good. It's going to be interesting to say the least. William Brown said, how is your crypto journey coming along? I mean, I tapped out of crypto, man. They got me. I was like, hey, man, this is too risky for my blood. Once they started like suing everybody and the SEC came in and it's like, this is a security, that's a security, all of this other stuff. Now they suing Uniswap and trying to say that Uniswap is guilty of trading securities and all this other stuff. I'm like, hey, man, I can't take this. The rising and the flow, the dropping and the market manipulation and the pumping and dumping and all of these things, man, Like I dabble here and there, but I'm not like involved with it the way that I was. Yeah, man. But yeah, this stuff is wild. And yo, listen, man. As it catches on and more people find out, oh, if I want to make music, all I got to do is go to this thing, type in this. Dude, because I wholeheartedly believe a lot of people resent artists. I believe they do. You got a lot of people who wanted to do it and couldn't do it, so they had to get quote unquote real jobs, and they don't want to see people succeed because it reinforces to them that they quit, or reinforces to them that they weren't good enough to make it. So it's just all sorts of feelings wrapped up in there. So when you give everybody the opportunity to be successful at it, where it's like, it's not about whether you have the talent. It's not about whether you can sing or write a quality song or make an instrumental or learn an instrument or anything like that. It's just about whether you have the money to pay a monthly fee to use this platform and to pay to market and promote songs. And if you got the money to market and promote and you got the subscription fee, then you too can be a musical genius. Listen, yeah. It turns into a situation where they say, oh, yeah, these artists thinking they're so hot because they could sing. Like, and what makes me feel that way is just looking at a lot of like the opinions that float around on the internet. Like, and I've like tweeted about this too. Just the absolute jubilation that you hear in the comment section when somebody says something like, you don't need talent to make it. Like, even if that's true, the fact that people are so thrilled about it and everybody's like, you see, and they're atting other people. And it's like, dude, why would this excite you? Like that is an indication of something. Like there was an artist that was talking about just not being a fan of what's it called? The voice, the thing that people use to put themselves back in key. I forgot what it's called, man. Auto-tune. There was an artist talking about auto-tune, some old artist that was like, yo, man, you need to just practice and become great at what you do, rather than having all of this post-production where they go in and Frankenstein the recording. And people were just in the comments like tearing her up. Like, oh, look, good for you that you have the vocal ability that you have, like this is great because it's basically looking at it like some type of common denominator, like some type of equalizer. Like this allows everybody to be creative. This allows everybody to be able to express their artistic creativity or whatever, right? Everybody can now do it. This is great. right? And you're looking at it as an artist and as somebody that's like worked to perfect art, a form and stuff like that. You're like, well, damn, look at all of these people who don't care. They don't care. They're just like, well, now I can do it too. And that has far-reaching ramifications, because now if somebody can stand on a street corner and sing, everybody's like, wow, it's this, you can do something and nobody else can do. When it gets to a point where everybody feels like they could do it too, or there's a way for them to be successful at it too, then it's like, well, that ain't no big deal, like you can do it. So what? You know? Yeah, man. The source material AI, in some cases, falling under a learning education gray area. Listen to an AI expert today, and he said even the experts don't know where we are going. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I wonder what music Nancy Pelosi likes. Detta says, I think it's the kind of music that allows you to invest in stuff and manipulate policy so it increases the value of it. Yeah, man. But yeah, kind of going back to the crypto question that William Brown asked me, I'm like, yo, there is a part of crypto that excites me, but the rigging and the manipulation is what is discouraging. And everybody that I knew that cared about the possibilities of the technology kind of got drowned out by everybody that was just trying to get rich, you know? And in the end, that's what I feel like won out. Now it's just all about pumping, you know, pork, this meme coin, that meme coin. But it's like it has value, like NFTs, which are pretty much almost dead now, have value from the standpoint of building an independent database of people that engage with your content. Like right now, I could be doing something like I could have NFTs and a social token, and I could be like, hey, everybody that watches every live stream, here's a claim button. Go and claim your coins for Pay Us No Mind every episode. Then create an NFT for 10,000 coins, where everybody that has 10,000 PUNM coins can now access this NFT, and then that NFT can be a gate to can be utilized to gate access to anything. So if I wanted to take a percentage of the royalties that the channel generates from ads and distribute it, I could say, okay, well, you know, everybody that owns this NFT can sign in to this airdrop and unlock a portion of the royalties or whatever have you, and do that anytime, anywhere, because I have the database of all of the people that's been supporting me all along. And YouTube can die and I could still have that, and Substack or whatever platform pops up can die and that database would still be there. So it's valuable from that standpoint, but when there's all of this rigging and market manipulation and stuff like that, it just gets a bad rap, and then it's hard to get people to bother with it. So now it kind of be masked, and you gotta kind of talk about it as like some type of collectible or give it some new name or something like that, because people just don't want to touch it. And then from the standpoint of like the government, they're considering this stuff a national security threat, because it's like, okay, well, you have people effectively creating their own currencies. So what does that mean for the country's currencies? And then also being able to force people to work jobs that they don't want to work. That factors into it as well. So it's like, if people can go and invest in crypto and make a lot of money, why would they go and work at McDonald's or work at Burger King or sweep somebody's floor? Like when it comes to the bottom, hey, if people can go and invest online and make all of this money, go and buy some meme coin and make $10,000 tomorrow, why would they be doing those jobs? So yeah, the country's looking at it and they're like, nah, everything's a security. Get this stuff out of here. So it's like, if I were to do something with an NFT and with the social token, hey, they could drag me in court and say, well, this constitutes an investment. And this is people buying this with the expectation of profit. And you are the one that controls the coin, so you benefit from the sale and things of that nature. So yeah, man, that's where everything. So, and maybe in the future, maybe that stuff dies down. Maybe they become more friendly to it. But right now, it's kind of crazy, man. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Also, yo, join me on Substack, sign up, man. I appreciate that. You know, if you're interested in the lead generation thing, great. If not, just use the link to go to Substack and sign up so you can get all of the other stuff that I'm gonna be posting there, you know? Now, as always, y'all can hit me up at Instagram, or why do I keep saying at Instagram? Duh! You know, at Pay Us No Mind on Instagram, at Pay Us No Mind on Twitter, Pay Us No Mind on Substack. This is Gift signing off. Pay Us No Mind. Peace, good people. One. Y'all be good out there. The backyardigans.